Oh, it's on. Whoa. Hey guys, how are you doing today? I know it's been a long day. Stick with me. We'll get through it. So, I will just like to start us off with a poll. How many of you guys here think you're pretty good at math? Okay, whoa, okay. Now, how many of you guys actually like math? Okay, not effective. Okay, sure. So, I was never really good at math. Not by any measure. But I deluded myself into thinking I was. In middle school, when I showed up to math class, I'd blow the whole thing off. My classmates, like actually good students, would open up their notebooks and write every single line, equation, question, answers to those questions, and so forth. But me, I never really bothered. My greatest mistake. In fact, my notebook was as fresh as the day I got it. Like a day. Until one day, around grade 9 or 10, I can't remember when exactly, something struck me. It was like a bolt of lightning. It was a self-realization moment. And what I realized shook me to my core. And it was that I understood nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that shook me down to my core. I was afraid. I was scared. And that fear, it turned to anger. And anger became hate. I hated math. Oh, the reports. Oh, the tests. Oh, all of it. I couldn't be bothered. I was scared of even showing up to class. But at the same time, conceptually, I admired it. Sort of like a faraway island. Because when it comes down to it, math really is beautiful. It's responsible for beautiful patterns and the way things work in life. So, how was it that I was able to love math like this and yet hate doing it? My name is TJ, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about why mathematics shouldn't be a subject that we resent. When it comes down to math, a student needs two skills: time management and logic. You need time to process everything, right? If a teacher says something, you need time to process it, to do the work, to do the practice. But logic, it's sort of like building some Lego, right? You have to figure out where everything is, because math is made up of a bundle of concepts: calculus, algebra, functions. And you're going to have to figure out how to piece all those things together. But why do people resent math? In a study from the University of Kerala, one Dr. K. Abdul Ghaffur decided to test this. He took his student body and decided to ask them to rate all the subjects. And what he found out was that 88% of the student population put math as their least favorite subject. Because due to the lack of time and and even when they had time, the moment they were done with a test or a report, they would forget about it. So, how do we fix this? How do we conquer all these challenges? Well, I believe every successful student needs to have at least two things checked off: confidence and practice. Let's look at confidence first. Confidence, I think, is one of the most important things you need when you're doing math. I would even argue that it's the make or break factor. You could have all the mathematical knowledge in the world. You could be the smartest man alive. But if you're not even confident in yourself to attempt a question, it's all gone to waste. When I first started at DP, I spiraled. Failure after failure after failure put me in a slump. And it took a lot of work to get back on track. But how do we be more confident? Throughout my journey, I identified one thing that was really important to me, and that was the environment. The environment which we put ourselves in. When you look at a confident student, they're in control. They feel no pressure. Because they are in control of their environment. And our environment shapes us. Look at your friends, your family, your teachers. All those contribute to you because we subconsciously take little parts of each other and create our own self. So when you're at home, whether you're alone or with family, the important thing is to be comfortable in your own environment. And also affirmations also helps. I was initially skeptical of this because I thought it was a bit weird talking to myself. But what I've come to realize is just saying to yourself that you deserve it. You deserve to be in that class. You deserve to sit next to your friends. You deserve that 7, that A+. Just saying that does wonders for your confidence. Let's talk practice. Practice is my worst enemy. My time management skills coupled with my procrastination does not help me at all. It was the bane of my existence. And I'm sure a lot of students in the audience face the same thing. Because the hardest part of a practice isn't continuously doing it, it's getting started. Just overcoming that little bit of energy to start what you do. That's the hardest part. So how do we start? Looking for the bare minimum step. Imagine, for me, if you will, you're on your laptop, maybe playing games, maybe watching YouTube, and you've got some math homework to do. Looking for the bare minimum step can push you in the right direction. Sometimes that might be pausing the video or just shutting down your laptop. As long as you think about the bare minimum step first before you go and do your math homework, it will slowly build up, and then you'll be ready to practice. And furthermore, how we practice also should change. You might have heard some students saying they practice 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day, maybe even 6. And that's insane. But I don't think we should judge people on how much they practice or whether how smart they practice. When we practice, we shouldn't just repeat the same thing over and over again because we'll never get anywhere. But rather, we should look towards weaknesses, what we're not good at. We should look towards building those weaknesses, slowly, bit by bit. And furthermore, we gotta break it down. You don't need 4 hours in one sitting. Maybe you can split that over 2 days, 2 hours, or maybe even 1 hour or 4 days. Because if we sit too long and cram everything in our heads the night before, I guarantee you, we're not going to remember anything on test day. In fact, it's so we don't end up like this guy. I'm sure a lot of DB students can relate because it's how most of us are feeling right now. Math is hard, and that's okay. We're all at different stages of our journey. I'm not even sure where I'm going next. But that's the beauty of it, isn't it? Out of all the chaos in the world, everything changes. But math is one of the few things that remains constant. And for me, I'd say that's something pretty worth learning about. Because as the Hungarian-American mathematician Paul Holmes said, the only way to learn mathematics is to do mathematics. Thank you all.